Alright, so this is one of the worst Memorial Day weekends since 1995. I was like 1981, but we were wrong. It's 1995. 1995 was when Casper haunted the screens, and that's not even adjusting for inflation. Mad Max was the number one movie of $42 million. Mad Max, of course, it's not the biggest IP in the world. Okay, you know, we all know this. We also talked about all the other reasons. I don't think we need to go to and beat the dead horse about Mad Max Fury Furiosa. Mad Max, the sequel. Okay. But Rotten Tomato overperformance looks like this summer will be down 20 to 25%. This is mostly because of the strikes. All the big movies are delayed, so that's down to like a bunch of minor movies and, Deadpool and Wolverine and Inside Out 2 coming out, and this will Me 4, which seems to be this year's biggest movies as well. Okay, those are going to be like the big movies. Even like Inside Out 2 is not going to do too well compared to the first movie, which is very big alarm bells of Disney. I think the only movie that will probably hit $1 billion is Despicable Me 4 and Deadpool and Wolverine. I think those will probably hit $1 billion. Okay, we have some big movies coming out on the horizon, but we don't have the $100 million opening weekend. Okay, we do not have it. I think Barbie and Oppenheimer were like this massive fluke that Hollywood has been trying to recreate ever since. And they put Furiosa and Garfield on the same day. We had Saw versus Paw Patrol. It seems that like they really think they can predict TikTok trends. Okay, Barbenheimer was a TikTok trend. Okay, Inside Out 2 is projected to open to $80 to $100 million. It's of course doing way better than the last two Pixar offerings. It's the only Marvel movie to come out because of how poorly Marvel's did. And yeah, let's compare this movie of Furiosa or Mad Max Saga to the Marvels. Okay, Marvels. Of course they made it because it made $1 billion, but they really wanted to try to backpedal as much as possible to make the movie about other characters than Brie Larson. Even though the only reason that Captain Marvel made $1 billion to begin with was because of Avengers Endgame. You can pull up the Phantom Menace conspiracy theories all you want, but either way, the only reason the movie made $1 billion was because of the big, massive movie coming out the month later. With the Marvels, there's no big and massive movie to keep the movie up. Okay, Marvel has been doing poorly outside of No Way Home since Avengers Endgame has came out. Okay, besides Spider-Man, Marvel has been doing poorly. Underperforming sequels. Okay, Black Panther 2 did way worse than the first movie. Doctor Strange 2 didn't even crack $1 billion as a lot of people were expecting it to. Okay, Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania did actually worse than Ant-Man and the Wasp. And Ant-Man 1, both of them did way better than the Quantumania. The Marvels did far worse than the first Captain Marvel movie. Thor Love and Thunder actually I think it did worse than for, what was it, Ragnarok. It did worse than that one. Also with Black Widow, that was because of the pandemic. Eternals, no one liked that movie. Okay, that's the reason why that movie flopped. And Shang-Chi, they released that on Memorial Day weekend. They were kind of asking for releasing on Memorial Day weekend. That's like one of the worst weekends to release that movie. Hey, at least they got the Memorial Day record down, but Marvel continues to do worse and worse. And of course, they're gonna say, okay, you know what? We'll do our two biggest characters that we still have, besides Spider-Man and the Guardians of the Galaxy. But Guardians of the Galaxy featured the same as the second movie, so, that movie had pretty good rigs. But it seems that, we don't have all of these, massive movies, okay, coming out this year. We don't really, okay, because of the strikes. We all knew this was going to happen because of the strikes, but with Furiosa, we can make a parallel between the Marvels and that movie. Guess what both movies have in common? They're female-led movies. Okay, female-led movies have been actually underperforming massively because every time when people see, oh, it's a female-led movie, it's a feminist movie. Even if the movie gets like massively good reviews, they're like, don't want to see it. It's a female-led movie. It's gonna be woke garbage. Okay, and it's funny. The only people who are coming to that conclusion besides me is the Phantom Menace. That's pretty funny because Hollywood and Mad Max fans, they're not gonna ever blame Hollywood. They're never gonna blame Hollywood for saying, "Oh yeah, we're gonna push feminism upon the movie-going audience and see how people really like it." Okay, they did it with Star Wars and Marvel. Those movies still made money, but the consequences came with the movies afterward. Okay, movie like Furiosa was a very unnecessary movie. I get people like the character, but she is not a household name, and as I've been saying for the past couple of days, she is not a household name. And heck, they didn't even advertise as a Mad Max movie until very recently. So this is 100% Hollywood's fault. 0% the audience's fault. 100% the audience's fault. The audience didn't advertise it as a Mad Max movie until they saw the trailer. Okay, or is it the first trailer or the second trailer? Wait, we have to actually remind people it's a Mad Max movie. And then there was two-way. Hollywood really dug the holes with this one. Okay, like Garfield, straight to the point. It's a movie about Garfield. Okay, simple as that. Okay, simple as that. Garfield. Okay, Godzilla vs Kong. It's a sequel to Godzilla vs Kong. Okay, Dune Part 2. Oh, it's a continuation of the Dune movie that came out a couple years ago. Okay. Ghostbusters, even Ghostbusters. Oh, it's another Ghostbusters movie. Kung Fu Panda 4 is a sequel to Kung Fu Panda 3. Okay, it's a continuation of the series. Okay, the problem with Furiosa is the advertising of the movie. Okay, and yes, there are some other movies that did very poorly because they didn't really advertise the movie. They didn't really do, advertise the movie correctly. And, this is a big problem with Hollywood. Okay, they continue, they continue to screw up. Again, not everything is advertised correctly, of course. There are lots of movies and products that are advertised poorly, and no one goes to see them. Okay, for example, Ed Sheeran's very, very last album called Autumn Variations, they released it, and he didn't even advertise it. No one, of course, listened to it because he didn't advertise it. Okay, that was the main reason that album flopped. It was called like Autumn Variations. No one listened to it because Mad Max, they just put out a few trailers and expected people to watch it. They really did that. Okay, they did not advertise that. Oh, it's a Mad Max movie coming. If they called it like Mad Max Furiosa, or Mad Max or Furiosa the Mad Max Saga, or hey, if you want to see the extended universe of Mad Max and extend more of these other side characters, as well. And also, we can't forget about the budget. Again, Mad Max movie, the last one was pretty expensive, but they could have kept the budget down if this was a smaller and kept a smaller story. Okay, they could have easily put down the budget to 110 to 112 million, 20 million, like similar to the Fall Guy. Okay, they could have easily kept the budget down to even 100 million. Okay, Godzilla Minus One did it. Okay, Godzilla Minus One did it, and it looks like a $100 million budget movie with $20 million budget. Okay, Kung Fu Panda 4 did it. Okay, it looks just like the other Kung Fu Panda movies with a smaller budget. Okay, even Garfield's Adam looks like an amazing looking movie. And animation of the movie looks great. Cost $60 million to make. Okay, we do not need these movies to cost so much money, especially considering the fact that they can reuse things from the previous movie. I get it, Mad Max is pretty big on practical effects. Mad Max Fury Road was, but come on, you could have kept the budget down to at least 110 to 120 million dollars. This could have been a very easy thing, and advertise the movie better. The movie would probably open way higher. Okay, I do expect this movie to have some sort of legs because of word of mouth. I think word of mouth could save this movie, kind of like of Elemental. Okay, Elemental was supposed to be a massive failure, but word of mouth saved that movie from being a massive failure. Or hell, last year, The Sound of Freedom, as much as the critics and Hollywood didn't like the success of that movie did so well that they really had to change their mind about the movie because they could accept an independent original movie doing well at the box office. Also, they didn't like the storyline of the movie, which is pretty ridiculous because that actually happened. That movie actually happened. The storyline of the movie actually happened. It was based off real life events. Okay, but it seems that Hollywood just can't seem to learn the lesson from last year. Of course, We all know why. It's because of the SAG after strikes. We all know that's the main reason why. Of these, this horrible box office this year. We all knew it was going to do horribly this year. How it was going to do horribly this year because of the strikes. These massive strikes, massive movies were delayed. Disney had to delay all of their movies. All these movies were delayed, which were left with the leftovers, which were movies basically that were just there to fill in the, something like Mad Max or something that, isn't the biggest franchise in the world. And yes, Mad Max is not Star Wars or Marvel. Okay? Mad Max is no Star Wars. It's no Marvel. Okay? But I think there's multiple reasons why this movie didn't do too well. You'd think that if it's a prequel to Mad Max, they'll make like 80 to 90 million because everybody's like, this is one of the best action movies ever made. But at the end of the day, the movie still flopped. And Hollywood has nothing but themselves to blame. I have 5 reasons. The budget. 2, people hate female-led movies now. Okay, thanks to movies like Captain Marvel and Rise of Skywalker. Okay, and Star Wars sequel trilogy. 3, Mad Max is not a very popular franchise. 4, bad advertising. Okay, they even advertised as a Mad Max movie until the first trailers. Oh, it's a Mad Max movie. And 5, the strikes. Those are the 5 reasons why this movie flopped. Garfield, that movie's gonna probably break even and make back its money at the very end of the day. It only has to make like $50 million more globally. I think it will make the $50 million more needs to break even, which likely means we'll probably see a Garfield sequel coming. But yeah, this is pretty funny that Mad Max is considered one of the greatest action series of all time. Even Mad Max cannot survive it. Okay, cannot survive, and it's 100% Hollywood's fault. Okay. This could have been an easy slam dunk, okay? Oh yeah, no, Partex Ferosa is not the household name. She's not, the most important character to people's minds either. And that's about this video here. Goodbye.